Geopolitical shift, how the USA, Canada, Europe, and China are changing the world order.
World politics and economics are undergoing unprecedented changes. While the USA has traditionally held the position of global leader, its economic and political strategies have started to undermine international alliances. In response to this shift, countries such as Canada, China, and members of the European Union have begun to build new relationships with each other, redefining the balance of power in the world. However, these changes are not limited to the relationships between these powers. Global transformations are taking place on the geopolitical stage that impact all continents, dismantling old alliances. In recent years, relations between the USA and Canada have become increasingly strained. American foreign policy, focused on maximizing national interests at the expense of others, has led to the imposition of numerous tariffs on goods from Europe, Asia, and, of course, Canada. Meanwhile, Canada, traditionally a reliable partner of the USA, has decided to pursue a new level of geopolitical independence. It is starting to strengthen its ties with Europe, China, and other countries while moving away from old agreements with the USA that it now perceives as no longer aligning with its interests. Canada's strategy: a step into the future. One prominent example of Canada's strategic approach is its active policy in the energy market. With the expansion of infrastructure for transporting oil and gas, Canada has gained the capability to export to Asia without relying on American territories. This has allowed the country not only to diversify its supplies but also to significantly increase profitability. Asian markets such as China and India are willing to pay more for resources than the USA, which is advantageous for Canada. This partnership is becoming one of the cornerstones of a new geopolitical order where old alliances with the USA are losing strength. Energy strategies and global competition. Special attention should be paid to energy policy, which is one of the key factors in changing the global order. In recent years, the world's energy landscape has undergone serious changes. Canada, possessing large reserves of oil and gas, is using its resources as a powerful tool in the struggle for geopolitical influence. Meanwhile, America's problems with oil extraction and refining have led to a dependence on Canadian supplies. On the other hand, China, with its huge domestic market and ambition for high-tech development, is actively investing in renewable energy sources, including solar and wind farms. The Chinese model of sustainable development allows the country not only to grow its economy, but also to exert influence on other nations by encouraging them to transition to green technologies. American isolation, new challenges, uncertainty in US policy and economic sanctions against allies have resulted in America starting to lose its positions on global issues. This is especially noticeable amid growing interest in alliances that are not tied to the USA. European countries, including Germany and France, are beginning to seek more advantageous and stable cooperation paths with Canada, China, and other nations. Despite its economic power, the USA is finding itself sidelined in global changes. The economic consequences for the USA did not take long to manifest. A decline in trust in American politics has led to economic isolation. Many companies have begun relocating their headquarters and production to more stable and predictable regions. China, Canada, and Europe have offered better conditions for doing business than the USA, affecting global supply chains and international financial flows. What awaits us in the future? The new alliances, emerging from the weakening of the USA's position, will define the world order in the coming decades. The emergence of new economic and political blocs, such as strengthened ties between Canada, Europe, and China, creates a foundation for changes that will impact global politics. This shift in global geopolitics is a reaction to the political and economic strategy of the USA, and the world will never be the same. For those observing current events, it is essential to understand that geopolitics is not an abstract concept. These are real changes that affect each of us, from energy prices to the way international corporations operate. Key strategic decisions are being made not only at high power levels, but also resonate in our daily lives. A future where Russia, China, Canada, and the European Union play crucial roles looks increasingly likely.